Welcome back to Okio. In today's video, we are going to be doing some patterns in Adobe Illustrator, Organic Bliss Cream and Organic Bliss Pistachio. So I guess kind of what inspired this is I've been noticing like just patterns in life. There's different like type of patterns in life, and I just thought it would be kind of interesting to like do a pattern each day like of the process of designing a pattern and then how that comes to life and how you can put it on different things. For this specific video, we're going to do just like a super duper simple pattern. I want to start with something really simple. As you can see here, we're just going to be using the shape tool. We're going to use a circle and just the square, and we're going to make just a very simple pattern to start kick off this whole thing. So as you can see here, there is this green color scheme. I went with a green color scheme because there's this one delicious pistachio cream that we've been eating. And I was like, oh my God, this stuff is so good. So I just wanted to do kind of like do a pistachio type of color, which is more like a Starbucks color. It's more of like a Starbucks color, which is fine. Because I love the green on the Starbucks. So that's why I'm utilizing this green. But then I was watching this other thing and I saw this gorgeous cream color. So I think we're gonna play off of the cream, which I'm starting to feel like I like the cream a little bit more. Um, which is like beige tones. And so, anyways, let's get into the video and we will start at the very beginning on how to make a pattern in Adobe Illustrator. So first things first, we want to open up Adobe Illustrator. You're going to create a new document. I put mine at 3000 by 3000 pixels, and it's just going to be a square. I'm making two artboards, so you want to select there two artboards and open that. Okay, here is our canvas. I'm just going to rename my little canvas here. You can name it whatever you want. Um, and then I have my two colors. So I selected these two colors based off of, it was inspired by pistachio, the color pistachio, but also a little bit of Starbucks. So can't even lie there. I feel like I thought the green on the Starbucks is very strong. So it was a little bit of taking two inspirations in two different areas. I am creating a background layer, and then we're going to start layering it with with the shape layer. So let's do here. I want to do a circle. Try to get it into the center portion there. Using the Alt key to make sure, Alt and Shift on a Mac, and getting it centered here with the Align tool. After you align that, so as you can see in the previous thing, I want to have different colors on top. And I was playing with different colors initially, you'll see. But I started off with this color just because I felt like these two colors in combination were really strong together. But then ultimately, I went with like kind of all the same color tones and different levels of hues on the color spectrum there. But right now, I'm trying to find this green that's like kind of off the other background color. So that's a slightly darker. So once you have chosen like your colors, I mean, you want to make sure that you have the colors that you like. I just duplicated that circle. Um, See, I'm selecting it all. And you want to, trying to get it here. I'm copying it and pasting it in place. So you can go to paste it in place. And then I am flipping it around. And I want these circles to be very close together. So when I put the pattern together, the circles kind of like look like they're flipping um, from the color scheme there. I'm noticing on my background layer that I really want that background, the circles to be on one layer, on one separate layer, and then the solid background to be on another separate layer so that, and then group them all together. So I can easily manipulate it and adjust it. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just pasting the background layer and making it one solid background. Then you want to go in, zoom in real close, and we want to get those circles completely kind of like touching there. Just like that. So I just selected just the circles. And we're going to go in real close so that we make sure that it is exactly flipped and exactly in alignment. As you can see, it's not. So let's go in and make that exactly those points touching. There we go. It's snapped. All right. So there is kind of what the pattern looks like. I want to make sure that the background is touching at the end of those circles. I'm going to select it all and group them. So now it's one solid group. Now, this is the part where we make our patterns. So you're going to go to your file, pattern, and make. And then there's this fun thing on the pattern options. If you go to window and pattern options, you can adjust it and like change the tile type and have a little fun with the overlap and everything like that. It can make a different type of pattern than what you created, which can be a lot of fun. I personally didn't like it because I thought it was neat, but I didn't feel like it was what I was looking for. I wanted something more simple, a straightforward pattern, which this is what that is. Now I'm just naming it, and it's going to save it to once you're done. You click done in the top left corner there, and it will save it to your swatches. So now you can like take a shape. Don't do that. Don't stretch it out like that. You could take a shape, the shape tool, and fill the shape tool with the swatch that you selected. So as you can see here, that fun looking strange pattern there is what it did with the overlap in the pattern option area, which I ultimately didn't even choose that one. And I didn't even choose this color palette either. And then I was like, let's go in with a brighter color. I wanted to play with it. And I was thinking Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know why I'm thinking like coffee and all this stuff, but it's funny. Um, which that right reminds me of like the pink and the orange and the cream on the Dunkin' Donut thing. I ended up not going with that either. I just kept it very simple. I wanted to do like just browns. But right now I feel like, you can just go in and play with the different colors and the different colors. And yeah, that's what makes making a pattern so much fun. And so now I'm selecting, trying to get like a cream that is similar to that half of the circle. Trying to find a nice tone here that, trying to find a nice color here that actually looks like it's a little off the color, a little bit. So you could see that separation. Same thing here. We're going to group it together, making a pattern. And I'm just calling this nude circle, nude bliss. Yes. And that was the one that I ultimately went with because I felt like it was just really simple. And it's so funny because initially when I was introduced to, or I used to say back in the day, like I would never, ever like make patterns. I hate that whole thing. And here I am. I think that's hilarious because I really just wasn't for patterns for whatever reason. But yeah, I just want to have fun with this, and I am trying to get another color scheme here. We're gonna try a different green. So as you can see here, it's like that brown on brown and the green on green with different shades of it. Making the pattern in Adobe Illustrator is making sure that once you have your pattern set, you group it together, and there, once you select pattern make, then it makes the pattern and you can play with the pattern options in the window options pattern section, um, which makes it really easy to do. And later I kind of will show you kind of a different way that you can make a pattern, but this is the most effective way that I find in Adobe Illustrator. And once again, what inspired this whole entire pattern thing that I want to try to get into is ultimately, like, I feel like in life there is several patterns that you find in the world, in your life, in situations that you go through. And for me, this is like something, there's like patterns that I essentially noticed in my own personal life that sometimes you can't even control. And this is the one thing that's like, okay, this is the one thing that is inspiring, because sometimes you go through these parts in life where you don't feel creative and you don't feel inspired and you don't want to create. And once I noticed like certain patterns in my life, I was like, oh my God, I need to like tie it all together and just create some patterns, some actual patterns. Um, because sometimes things don't make sense in life. And it could be, you could go through frustrating seasons. And I find that creativity and just making things really help uplift the spirit and keeps you connected, I want to say, to source and to just living. And creativity really is kind of like a catapult to feel more in-lined, I want to say. Side by side, as we can see, there's the brighter, larger pattern and then the more muted one. And for me, I'm leaning towards more the muted one. I think it's not as, I just like it better. But ultimately, I ended up choosing this kind of like beige cream color. I feel like it's soft, it's like a neutral, it's not as in your face, and I just really love how that turned out. But this is kind of the first pattern. I'll do one. My goal ultimately is to do a pattern each day during the week, just one simple pattern as we move along and as I kind of like get more comfortable making patterns. I hope that it gets more intricate and more detailed. But I think for the first one, this was a nice kind of simple one using the shape tools. This is ultimately what it looks like on fabric. And I pieced it next to a solid um, so that I can see how kind of like that could layer together. Um, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, this will be 365 days of pattern of patterns, surface design, aka surface design. All right, well, I will talk to you guys later, and yeah,